Hi, it's James here from GPX, and I thought I'd introduce you to the 2025 GPX 300R TSE. This is the two-stroke 300cc bike by GPX. We do two different models. We do the L version, which has got the linkage like the Husqvarna, and we do the one with the PDS style rear suspension, which is this is the model. I've already done a video showing you around the L model, and I thought I'd do a video showing you around this model as well. It's essentially the same bike. The only difference is the chassis and the swinging arm, and obviously the shock. That's really the only difference. The actual chassis is basically the same. It's only the shock linking points which are different. So there's going to be no difference in the way this handles, sort of in respect of how it feels, and all the pegs and the bars and the position is exactly the same place. It's just that this one's got the linkless rear suspension, which has got many benefits. I like the fact that you don't have to maintain all the linkage, because that, after a little bit of time, can become a bit of a pain. Having to change the bearings and just grease them and just keep on top of them. And whilst it might seem like a small thing, when to a lot of people, when you're removing needle bearings out of linkage housings, it's a bit tricky, and it's a lot of people just aren't kitted up to be able to do that. So you've got the benefit here of just two bearings which are set into the top and the bottom parts of the shock here, which are very easy to actually change. In fact, the bottom bush is based into the swinging arm there, which can be pushed out, and you've just got one other bearing that's actually mounted inside the shock there as well. So there we are. The shock is fully adjustable. It's got the spring preload, and it's got compression at the top as well as rebound at the bottom there as well. And it's a very, very effective shock. We do springs for all weights and sizes, so there's no problem accommodating this bike to everyone's sort of weight and how they want it. This bike is currently set up to have a 910mm seat height. I've just measured it, and it is 910mm, 91 centimeters. So that's quite a low setting. So that's pretty handy for a lot of people. So getting back to the engine, this is a 300cc two-stroke bike. It's premix. It's got a 6-speed gearbox and a diaphragm clutch. It's got an adjustable power valve. So when you have the power valve fully screwed out, you see that anodized bolt there, when you have it screwed out, essentially the power comes in pretty quickly, say at 3000 RPM. But the further you wind that in, the calmer the bike becomes, and it can become very linear like a 4-stroke by just winding that screw in. So it's a very adaptable power on this, and I would suggest, personally, forget what I suggest, but personally my setting is I have it wound quite a bit in, because I like the power band coming in right at the top, but I like the bottom and mid-range without that power band, to be honest, because I like it smooth and controllable. And that's exactly what you can do with this bike. It's a very adjustable engine. You can adjust the power characteristics of it massively by using that screw there. So we had one guy we sold a bike to, and he was finding it a bit of a handful, and we wound that in 2 or 3 turns. He didn't know about it, but we soon mentioned it to him, and it just calmed it down, and he came back to us and just said how pleased he was with that very simple change, and it was a bike that he can now control and find easy to ride. It's obviously got a kickstart backup. It's got electric start, which you can see the starter motor underneath there as well. So it's a counterbalanced engine, which means the vibrations on it are pretty minimal. This bike doesn't vibrate, the engines don't make any funny noises, they're lovely, smooth, quiet engines. We don't have any problems with these engines, they are massively reliable, and that's why we give a 12 months parts and labour warranty on these bikes. They come with a fan fitted, as you can see. What else have we got? We've got really decent foot pegs here, as you can see. These would normally be an upgrade on most other bikes. Excuse my dog. We've got really powerful back brake there, which is controllable as well. It doesn't just come on, you can control it. You've got nice billet hubs here, stainless steel spokes, so unlike other brands you're not going to see these rusting after it being parked in the shed for a few months. You're not going to get rust appearing on these. You've got to keep an eye on the tightening of these spokes, because with all new bikes they can come a little bit loose, so bear that in mind. All the brake pads from KTM fit GPX, but we stop the brake pads way cheaper than most people. Discs again from KTM fit. I mean, I really, when I was taking that shock out there, I should put that back in. There we are. Right, so getting back to the rest of the bike, it's fitted with an O-ring chain, 520 chain, which is a very top quality chain. This isn't something that stretches, it's a superb chain, and it will last you for months. 50 tooth rear sprocket, 13 tooth front sprocket. We recommend that a lot of people, if they're riding slow events and they don't need, you know, a high speed on the road, then go down to a 12 on the front. But hey, it's your bike, you can play around with whatever gearing you want. We've got the sprockets at 15 quid to go down to a 12, so that works quite nicely. A big feature on this bike is that it's a carburettor, so there's no complicated fuel injection to go wrong. There's no mapping. You don't have to go running back to your dealer for this, that, or anything else when it won't start or have a spark. It's just a traditional bike, you know, the sort of bike that's been around since the traditional setup that's been around since you know, a long time, probably almost 100 years. Having a carburetor on your bike, an airbox at the back, which is no tools access, so you just pull the pegs, peg at the top, peg at the bottom, pull it off, and get access to the air filter. It's got a little drain at the bottom of the air filter to let any fluid that might get in out. What else have we got? Pretty sensible and straightforward stainless steel chain adjusters, a very solid chain guide down here. We've got a lot of GPXs out there, you know, and we don't sell many of these, which is testament to the fact that, you know, they're tough, they're strong. Decent side stand with a dual spring. There really is no expense spared on these bikes. You know, it's got a very capable knobbly tyre on the back there that comes as standard. There's a lot of cross compatibility between this bike and other bikes. The tank holds 9.1 litres, so that's a decent amount of fuel to get you around. One bolt here to release the seat, and you've got a very comfortable seat concept style seat here, which is held on at the front there, and obviously with that bolt at the back. It's a very comfortable seat. This is so much more comfortable than a standard KTM or Beta or Sherco seat. This is properly comfortable. People rave about these. People buy these as an upgrade. I cannot go on about this seat too much. You'll sit on this seat, you won't want to go back to any normal seat after this. It makes riding enjoyable all day. Pretty showing you what's pretty obvious at the moment. You've got your switch gear up at the top, hydraulic clutch, nice and light. You've got a multi-display here which shows the mileage, it shows the revs, it shows the battery, it's got a trip, shows the speed obviously, comes with 2 keys for that added little bit of security. Okay, these are all lock-on grips, so these are you know, these aren't just stick-on stuff, these are proper lock-on grips, which are so much better. You know, I'm like a lot of people, I'm a little bit skeptical. A lot of improvements that sort of, or alleged improvements, which are done on bikes, but this is one. These lock-on grips are absolutely spot on. You know, forget glue-on grips. Christ almighty, you know, I used to spend so much time trying to secure my grips to the bars and wiring them on, gluing them on, doing whatever, and these are by far, these just don't come loose, they're just superb, and they last so much longer. The actual strength of these grips is really strong. I mean, look at me, I'm pushing the end in, and look, you're not actually seeing the end of the grip bend round in my fingers. They're just really good quality grips, and they're a medium compound, so they will last you a very good while. Now gives us a chance to look at the front forks. We've got this is the compression adjuster. The white adjuster you can see on the top is for the compression. The red adjuster you see on the other side is for the rebound. And you've also got a spring preload. You can see that there, you know, that little bar. You turn around there and that gives you a certain amount of spring preload to put an extra bit of stiffness in the front end if you want. But these forks are just absolutely superb. They soak up all the little bumps, or if you wind them up, they will hit and cope with a motocross track quite happily. These make no clunking noises. They don't jar. They don't send shudders up your arms into your shoulders. They are absolutely superb. You know, they're one of the best components. I've said this before and it's absolutely true. One of the best components on GPX bikes are the front forks. They're absolutely superb. Really strong bars. Okay. Nice triple clamps. Okay, which have got the bolt at the front brack. These are designed to actually spread the load when they clamp the actual fork, so that it doesn't clamp the fork too hard and stop the actual sliders going up and down. Powerful front brake with a speedo connection, and it comes with this disc guard on it as well. This is a completely standard bike out of the crate, so everything you see here you get for $5,950. You've even got tie downs there for your bike in the van. We include, with every new GPX, a set of brand new firm or soft mousses, or you can choose a set of road legal enduro tyres. It's your choice. Handguards, powerful LED light. No, that's not broken, that's just a bit of polythene on the front from the factory. All of these decals have actually got a like a little film on them, you know. And when you pull that film off, when you pull that film off, they just become super shiny. There we are, look, it's like peeling off a snake skin. Whoa. And they're just so much shinier and they're absolutely gorgeous. And all of these plastics here, so if you're thinking, oh, well, that bike looks a bit dull, that's because these plastics are all over it. They ping when you take them off. So here we are at the other side of the bike down at the front. Again, stainless steel spokes, alloy rims, plastic sump guard comes with it. So it's got a lot of the extras here. In fact, all of the extras that you'd probably want to fit. Maybe you'd want to fit a pull on the front, you know, for getting yourself out of holes, and one on the back as well. That's what I'd personally do. But other than that, all I'd fit is a set of mousses, and then I'd, you know, be off. We road legal these bikes. We make these bikes road legal and we road register them just in a few minutes. They've got LED lights all around them. That front headlight is exceptionally powerful. It's got looks like four LEDs in it. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's maybe one in the center, but when you light this up, it really illuminates the road in front of you. So it's like riding in daylight when you're riding with that on full or low beam. It's proper good, and it's adjustable here via a little adjuster behind there. You can adjust the height of it up and down. Comes with these plastic guards on the radiator. You've obviously got the fan behind, which I've mentioned. We don't sell many of these radiators, which is testament to the fact that, and we don't sell many of these exhausts, we've got loads of them. If everyone wants to buy an exhaust for, you know, one of these, or a KTM 300, get in touch. We've got loads of them. We've got loads of spares for these bikes. We're kitted out to cope with everything. We've got no people out there with bust engines who are waiting for parts. We've got everyone covered. We look after everyone. We take it very seriously. This whole GPX thing, we do it out of passion. I've been an enduro rider and trials rider all my life, and my heart is in enduro, and I absolutely adore it. I adore the scene. I just enjoy riding, especially hard enduro like Romaniacs and all the rest. And I think this, with its low seat height, is just absolutely spot on. Just makes it handy to get your feet on the ground, doesn't it? I mean, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? But when you're in the difficulty going green laning and you put your feet down and you're in a hole and you're having a bit of difficulty slipping sideways, you don't want to be teetering on top of some tall bike. And on this bike you won't be, because it's only got a 9 till 10 mil seat height in the setting that we've got on it. So there we are. I think I mentioned everything. Oh, it's got a lithium battery underneath here. So It's a JMT battery, as fitted to pretty much most decent manufacturers, and that won't let you down. I figure you'll never have to use this little baby down here. You'll never have to use that. You'll just be pushing that button. Well, I think that is it. You can fit bar risers to these bikes as well. Some people do like a bar riser on a bike and lift the bike up maybe 40 mil, and we sell those I think for 30 quid, and it just saves you having to bend down so much when you're riding. I can relate to that. Okay, there we are. There is the GPX 300R TSE with linkage, 5950 on the road with free mousses or free tyres. It's up to you.